Did you know that there's an updated COVID-19 booster that protects you even more than the original vaccines? Even if you got the first vaccinations, now it's time to get this new updated booster shot. It's especially important for adults 50 and over and people with a compromised immune system. Even though you may not hear about people catching COVID as often, each week in King County, some people even end up in the hospital because of it. So check with your loved ones and make sure they've gotten an updated booster. For more information on where to get a COVID vaccine, including free vaccination resources, visit kingcounty.gov/vaccines. kingcounty.gov/vaccines.
Hey, this is Paul Pearson. I've hosted the R&B show Star Time since the very beginning of Rainier Avenue Radio, and after years of featuring tracks from the 50s through the 80s, Star Time now plays R&B and hip-hop from the 1990s as well. A whole half century of soul, funk, hip-hop, and more on Star Time, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio. I'm Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, and back in my day, when we wanted to hear the radio, we had to stick a couple of coat hangers on Grandpa's head so his cavity fillings could pick up an AM station. But it's the 21st century now, so whenever I want to hear Rainier Avenue Radio.world, I listen to it on the brand new Rainier Avenue Radio app on my Android or iPhone. Download it for free at the Google Play Store or the iPhone App Store, the Rainier Avenue Radio.world app.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
COVID-19 hurt my income, my health, and my family. We were about to lose our home when we heard we might be eligible for homeowner assistance funds from the government. We called 1-877-894-HOME, and a housing counselor stepped in. They talked to our lender and saved our home. Because falling on hard times does not have to mean losing your home. Federal funding details at washingtonhaf.org.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Welcome to Real Estate and Money, a half-hour program on Rainier Avenue Radio.world designed to help you whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, or renter in real estate. Your hosts are two local professionals who will escort you on your journey. Violeta Strash, who has years of media advertising and marketing experience and brings this extensive knowledge to John L. Scott Real Estate and all our clients. And Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with guaranteed rate affinity with over 28 years of experience. And now here's Violeta and Tina.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, how are you, V?
Yes, I'm good. I wish I was at the tulip fields.
I know, it's beautiful. It's so
Vernon.
beautiful. Yes. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us. You know, V's talking about the tulip fields because we're going to be talking about landscaping. We're going to be talking about spring, and V's got so many different things to talk to you about, and I've got some interesting things to talk about today. So stick around and invite your friends and family to join our show so we can discuss landscaping.
Okay.
Great. So, V, how are you doing?
I'm good. Well, I think I'm good.
Great.
We're working on a project, Tina and I, and hopefully we'll get that project done.
Absolutely. It absolutely will get done. It will get done.
Yay. Okay. That's great news. But so I think I'm feeling better now that she said that. I'm going to give you the market update, okay, for our 3 favorite counties in the area. So we're going to start off with King County. All right, here we go. And this time I'm going to give you the status for pending as well. So active listings in King County in the past couple of weeks, because I don't believe I gave it to you last week, we've had 394 listings come on the market, and 357 went pending in the past couple of weeks. Sold inventory 420 at an average price of $1,127,000. compared to last year, 1,128,000. I'd say pretty even there. A couple $1,000 is all. It's catching up. It's evening out. The prices and the sold for King County. And days on the market. Last year we had 12 days on the market, and then 22 days this year. Difference of 10 days. So it's taking a little bit longer to get on the market, but the price is 8% higher last year than average. This year, only 1%. So we dropped quite a bit. And again, you're seeing everything kind of even out there. Active listings to sold prices. And then we are looking at the number of days it'll take to show your house for each listing. And the average showings to listing is 18 days last year. And this April, 8 days. So, people are jumping in there, and there's a lot of multiple offers happening, and they're getting, the prices that they want. And then showings to pending, 26 days, showings versus 18 this year. So showings to pending, it's going to take less time for people to think about what they want to do. So as soon as these showings happen, it gets to pending a little bit quicker this season. The spring market is hot and blooming. Pierce County. Here we go for Pierce County. Last couple of weeks, I had 160 homes went on the market. 153 homes went pending, and 215 eventually sold at an average price of $596,000. That's Pierce County. Last year it was 608. I call that pretty even right there too. Days on the market. Last year was 13 days on the market. Now it's 27 days in Pierce County. It went up in Pierce County a couple weeks. And then percent of the list price, 4% higher than the average last year, and less than 1% this year, this April. Showings per listing, 11 showings versus 6 this year. And then showings to pending, 16 showings last April versus 14. I call that pretty even. So, there's a lot of things happening right now, but I'll tell you in a minute what I've been seeing. And it's pretty crazy out there. Let's see what's happening in Snohomish County. Here we go. Active listings, 134. Pending, 130. And then 173 sold. So when you're seeing numbers that are higher in the sold category, it's because things, if they're not sold, they'll sell in the next week. So that's inventory that's been sold from whatever has happened to be lagging out there in the active category. The average price of this home sold in Snohomish County, is $828,000 versus $824,000 last year. Again, pretty even, folks. April days on the market, 11 days last April versus 25 days. So we're up a couple weeks here. What are we looking at? I think, it's been going up days on the market for all 3 counties. Percent of the list price, 7% higher. And this April, we're seeing a drop of 6.5% down from the list price. Showings to listing, 16 showings, and then 7 showings per listing this April. So 9 days, a little over a week here. And then showings to pending, 21 showings versus 15 from year to year. And it's down a little bit there. And let me just tell you what I'm seeing and experiencing out there. I've got a number of buyers on the market looking for homes again, low inventory, buyers are really, stressing out because of that low inventory. So they're willing to come in and do the multiple offers and get even a lot of contingencies waived. That's the other thing happening. And they just want to get a home. They'll fight for it. And it doesn't take long. As a matter of fact, I had a couple of instances just yesterday. I went to go show a home and I got 2 cancellation notices from the other agent, the agent that's selling the home that my buyers want to see, because they went pending. The sellers accepted an offer, and one of them was less than a day. So, a lot of things happening in the $500,000 to $750,000 price range. It's a little bit slower for the higher priced inventory, but it's crazy out there. And Tina knows she's accepting applications or taking applications left and right and working on these things. And it's hard right now for us here in Washington. And what do you think, Tina?
Okay.
It's crazy.
Great, right? Yeah, well, it's really crazy everywhere. Since COVID, people no longer work a 40-hour work week. Since COVID, people want to be working from home. They don't want to work 5 days a week. They want to work 3 days on, 2 days off, 4 days on, 2 days off. The way that we work, the way that we are paid are different. Now, FHA and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, these lending institutions still go by the 40-hour work week, certain amount of hours per week, so on and so forth. So if you work something different, like a longshoreman, and you own your own business, or you work 3 days on and 3 days off, and sometimes overtime, sometimes tips, that new way of working doesn't fit into the old way that loans have been underwriting for the last several years. So I do get people that they get paid very good money, but on paper, it doesn't classically show 40 hours a week. And because of this, we're running into all types of problems. COVID has changed the landscape in so many different ways, and income and the way that you're getting paid and the way you're underwritten are so different right now. So you're right, V. It's kind of harder, and I have to tell people, and I cannot stress enough, you have got to be pre-qualified. That means get your credit done, get your income taken care of. If you don't have a down payment, really think twice about looking for a home, especially in Seattle. And especially in Colorado or different places, or California or Florida, where the market is very hot. If you were to get a down payment assistance program, instead of you getting a 6.25 FHA rate, you're going to get an 8.125 FHA rate. So if you're trying to qualify for $700,000, now you qualify for $580. So if you don't have a down payment right now in this market, get yourself together until you do. Because if you, like I said, if you get a down payment assistance program, the rate's going to be very high. It's going to be hard for you to swallow. Then you're going to be bugging everybody about, you don't want to pay these rates, but you do want to buy a house of $600,000 or $500,000 or $800,000. So for those people who are out there who do have down payment assistance or do have down payment, at least 3.5 or 5%, have that in your bank without any, craziness of, under mattress money and so on and so forth. Make sure you have 3.5 to 5% of savings in your account before you start looking for a home, before you call a mortgage loan officer, before you call a realtor. You've got to have that money put away, set aside for a mortgage. If you come, I get people who call me up and they're like, I want to apply for a loan and blah, 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 blah. How much money do you have? I have $1,500. Appraisals cost, and every other day, appraisals cost $800 to $900 right off the bat, plus your inspection, which is, $200 to $400. If you don't even have that, don't even call. And I have a lot of people, and they got great intentions and so on and so forth, and they do work so on and so forth, but they don't save, and they expect for you to give them a down payment assistance. Like this is it's a grant or something like that. It's just freedom. They want to have the loans, so therefore everybody has got to accommodate, and that's great. But you have to have some skin in the game. You have to have a down payment. You have to be working. You can't go from one job to this job to that job. I get people who made $80,000 last year. And they're like, well, I don't have to make $80,000 this year. I'll work part-time for $50,000. Now I want to get a loan. That's not going to happen. You need to have at least 2 years. So this is something that we want to stress with people. If you want to qualify for a loan, make sure that you've got your down payment, you've got your job straight, and you've got your credit straight. And then start looking for a home. Because it's like V said, you look at a house, 10 minutes later, it's gone. And the people who got the house had the down payment. They had 20% put down. They had 15% put down. They had great credit, and they're done. And so those people got the offer. They don't necessarily have to be the highest offer. They have to be the most approvable offer. So if you've got like 2% put down, you're going down payment assistance on a house at $800,000, but somebody has 20% to put down of their own money, and they're putting down the house for like maybe $795. Guess who's going to get the contract?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they don't believe you're $800,000 against somebody who's got 20% down at $795. So if you really want to go out there and compete, you want to make sure that you do have yourself qualified. And really quick, let's talk about the mortgage rates, because I've got some important news to give you. So the mortgage rates here, thank you, Don. You'll see that it's like 6.55 is now the national mortgage rate. There we go. Thank you so much. The interest rate on a 30-year mortgage is hovering right around 6.46 with an APR of 6.555, and that's a national average according to NerdWallet. For those people who are out there who are asking for a 7-1 ARM or 5-1 ARM, those are still available. You can see here the interest rates on a 5-1 ARM are averaging 6%, but the APR of that is 7.174. So you have to buy down. There's a lot more costs associated with it. So right now we're telling people, since interest rates are going down, just stay away from a 10-year, 7-year 5-1 ARM, because you're going to be all happy at a 10-1 ARM or 5-1 ARM, and the 30-year mortgage rate is going to go lower than that, and then you're going to be upset at somebody. So the 30-year fixed rate is exactly what we're getting focused on right now. That's at 6.461. And the Fed actually says that they may go up by 0.25 again here shortly, the next day or two. So 6.46 is actually a very good price on a 30-year mortgage. So grab that and snatch it up while you can. The next thing I want to show here is an FHA update that just went into effect here in May. It says FHA is okay to modify mortgages to 40-year terms. So a lot of realtors are calling me up. A lot of clients are calling me up. And there's a misunderstanding that FHA loans are going to go from a 30-year to a 40-year mortgage. And of course, on a 40-year mortgage, those payments are going to be a lot lower than a 30-year mortgage because it's 40 years. However, these are not available for purchases. These are for people who are in duress, and they already have a loan. They already have an FHA loan. They already have a house, and they are looking to have some payment relief. Those can go out to a 40-year term. So once again, if you're out there, and if you can scroll just a little bit, Daniel, on that, it talks about, the FHA and they approved it and all this fun stuff, and May 1st is going to go into effect, so on and so forth. So I encourage you, just Google FHA 40-year mortgage, and all of these different links will come up. So once again, don't get excited. If you're trying to purchase a house and you've been told that FHA is the best route for you, don't worry about asking your lender and your realtor to get you a 40-year term. Don't worry about, applying all over to all the different banks and all the mortgage brokers and asking them if they do a 40-year mortgage, because that is for somebody who already owns a home. Okay, so I want to clear that up. Thank you, Daniel. So V, have you heard some people saying, hey, I've got an FHA loan and blah, 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 and we're going to try and get a 40-year fixed mortgage. Have you heard that going on?
No, not yet.
Good. Because I
not me anyway.
Yeah,
you're the first one. Yeah.
I had some people call me up today and say, hey, I've got a 40-year, here that FHA is going 40-year mortgage, so I've got all these clients lined up. I'm like, don't do that, because they're going to be ticked off at you that you told them 40-year and they got all excited and it didn't happen. Oh, let me turn these lights back on. Here we go. Oh my goodness, AI. Anyway, so I believe we're at the halfway point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violeta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Great.
Again, one thing I want to mention, because I had a case with some buyers who are looking to get in the market. You need to work on your credit score. Mm-hmm. If your mortgage lender, like Tina, is saying you need to pay down credit cards, you need to be at a 620, right, credit score. And she'll tell you what it is, but that's kind of the first thing you need to do is scrub your credit. Mm-hmm. And just make sure you are able to finance all this stuff. So if you got a car payment, you got 10 credit cards, no. Get rid of some of those. Tina will tell you what you need to do. She has people, the annihilators, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, it's something because I get people who, they got good credit, they have credit that's good enough to get like a store card, so on and so forth. And they'll run $40,000 worth of credit card debt. Or they'll get a car, the payments are $1,500.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely insane. If you're renting, you should not have a car over $500 or $600 a month. End of story. Because you'll never get to the point where you have enough savings. So, I mean, buy yourself a 3-year-old car or something. You don't have to buy yourself a Rolls Royce if you're renting an apartment because you've got no tax deductions or anything. So as far as credit concerned, you hit it on the nail. You have got to clean up your credit. If you go to the free creditreporting.com things, don't do that. Just don't do it. They will pull up credit that you forgot about that never reports to the 3 credit bureaus. So do not do any of this free creditreporting.com type of stuff or, Karma Credit or whatever. I can't even say their names. Get off of that. If you feel like you have a problem, you shouldn't be applying for a loan. Okay. But get off of those apps, so on and so forth. But get your credit straight. If you haven't made any late payments, you don't have to check your credit. If you make a lot of late payments, your credit's going to be bad. So, right off the bat, get your credit to a place where people want to give you new loans. Okay. So
tell them what happens if you go to one site after another, talking to this bank, talking to a mortgage lender. What happens to that credit score? It
just keeps going down. It just doesn't do anything for you. A lot of the free credit reporting agencies, Sears and Costco and Wells Fargo, those big boys, they actually refer to the big reporting companies, Equifax, TransUnion, and so on and so forth. But if you've got a smaller company and they can't afford to subscribe to Experian or Equifax or TransUnion, they're going to go to the free credit reporting places and find you. Okay. So there are some things you may have for $46 over here at this company and this apartment building over here. And they would have never in a million years report to the big credit reporting companies. But as soon as you sign up for those free reports, boom, it's on your credit report. So stay away from that. Just pay your bills on time. If you can't pay your bills on time, don't achieve any more credit. If you can't pay your credit cards right now, then don't get more credit. So you'd be surprised how many people that I see, they think that a credit line is supplemental income. They take out $5,000 so they can pay their this and pay their that. Then they keep taking out money. So you don't do that. If you're in a crisis state, don't even try applying for a loan because you're just going to get everybody upset. And you really can't do anything. So get your credit straight. So, but with that being said,
wait, just real quick.
Yeah.
For instance, $500,000 home. Mm-hmm. You need to have, let's say 3% down. Mm-hmm. That's
$15,000. Yeah.
Okay. And then you need to have the inspection costs is say 300, 350, 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the appraisal will cost you about
$900.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Another $1,500 on top of the $15,000.
Yeah.
So think of that.
And then you have to pay. Yeah.
And taxes.
Then you have to pay your down payment. Plus, you have to pay your closing costs.
Yes.
So if you got $15,000 on a $500,000 home, you have to pay another $10,000 for closing costs. So you need $25,000 to $30,000 on a $500,000 loan.
There you go.
That. And if you say, well, I can get down payment assistance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, down payment, it's down payment assistance. It's not down payment fully. So they'll pay, if your fees are this much, they'll pay maybe this much, but you still have to pay the rest. So if you don't have any money to put down, and I'm telling you, down payment assistance is going to cost you 6.5% to maybe 8%. It's a big difference, hundreds of dollars difference in payment. So if you're looking for down payment assistance, it's out there, but you are not going to be happy. So get your down payment together, and then you can go from there. And there are plenty of people out there. There are plenty of people who've got 20, 30% to put down. There are plenty of them. And these are who you're competing with if you don't have any down payment set aside. So
there you go.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, save $25,000 to $30,000, right? For that $500,000 home.
Yeah, and we're not going to be calling all these different banks trying to find who's going to give me money. No, you get your money. Okay. So let's talk about landscaping.
Topic of the day.
Okay, let's talk about landscaping.
Yay!
Yeah. So me and you were talking about, now, here in Colorado, we had our big snow last week, and now I look and I've got like 6 inches of grass, in my front yard because it's growing like crazy. So I went to the store and bought all these plants. So we're going to talk about watering systems. We're going to talk about landscaping today, what you can do. What are some tips for that? Mm-hmm. So V, what do you got?
Yeah. Well, okay. Just make sure that if you're talking about your irrigation system, your sprinkler system, they get turned off or turned on by you or your landscape crew once a year. Make sure all those lines are clear and make sure each of the sprinkler heads are working properly. They may need to be cleaned out and just check those lines because you don't want things clogging up and then leaking somewhere. That'd be a disastrous thing and a big financial burden on you if it leaks into the home somehow. Right. But there's a lot of things people are doing now, especially if you're selling your home. You want your landscaping to look good, so it'll be inviting to people. There's color in the yard and color approaching the front door. Right. Now, that's one of the slides. I had gone to Daniel, back up to where it says Watson's Nursery. Here's a nursery nearby, and I've been over there several different times. They're on the corner of 320th in Federal Way, 320th and Military Road. So there's this great nursery with a lot of different options. And if you continue on, Daniel, let's look at the inside of the greenhouse area that you'll see a lot of different options or hanging plants. Now, remember, you need to look and see where your plants are going to be situated because you don't want shade-loving hanging baskets in a full sunny area. They're going to die on you really fast. And I had an instance where the wind in our area knocked down some branches because we're still not quite done with our cold weather, stormy, windy days here. And right now it was about 55 degrees in my car when I drove back. And I know that one of the garden experts at Watson said, we're going to get another cold spell next week. And I thought, well, I might as well be with Tina in Denver. It's cold over there, back and forth. And then there's a lot of different options for spring containers. They have a 50% off sale on these garden pottery items that you see there outside in the yard where they have the trees. They have a lot of different colors. And they will help you, Daniel, if you go to another slide, the interior, the one on the left, they have an area where they can actually help you put together indoor or outdoor container plants. There's a lot of different options at this nursery. They've got great gift ideas inside the greenhouse. And it's really fun. Check it out. And what else? There's a lot of things going on, like the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival, Mount Vernon. You see behind me, tulips. Yeah. Remember that? Yes. I think we only got like a minute and a half yet, but I want to show you some of the apps we have. So, Daniel, do you have some of those apps that I put on, I gave you? Now, if you have watering zones, like I've got 12 watering zones in my yard, and I can control everything on my phone. When the water should be turned on, how long they go on, what zone has how many minutes, and it's actually linked up to the sun and to the weather, so it automatically can water when it should and water when it and stop when it shouldn't. Here are 10 different apps that you can use. Number one is iScape, and we'll just go ahead and scroll down. We've got Planter, we've got Pro Landscaping Home. They can keep going. We've got SketchUp. Okay, we've got Microsoft Pix Camera. And keep going here. Yes, we've got House and Lawn Starter. And that's all, Daniel. Well, that's all I need from there. But really quick, for those who do have different zones, I have mints in one area, have lilacs in another area. I've got Lazy Susan. I've got all these different plants, and they all require different times in which to, and a lawn.
different times which to water. So some of these apps that you have will do the front yard, will do the backyard, will do each little zone, and it'll do it for 5 minutes, it'll do it for 30 minutes, and you can handle everything by phone. So if I'm on vacation and I see something crazy, I can stop the water, or I can, make the water go more, what have you. But I highly recommend, if you are in a place where you have landscaping options, but you're not always there to water the plants. And V, I was at my house for a whole year and a half before I even knew I had a landscape watering system. I found it out. I found it in my garage. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? But a lot of time, because 4 o'clock in the morning, those things go on. 8 o'clock at night, those things go on. So I highly recommend, if you would like to go into landscaping and you're afraid about watering your plants or watering your yard, look into these apps. Some of them are free, and they will highly, highly, highly help you with your landscaping and the beautification of your home.
Okay.
So yes, and really quick, if you want to, I got a quote of $30,000 to do my landscaping. Of course, I said no, but I'll do it myself. But if you are looking at a big landscaping project, you can get a home equity loan on your house. You can get a small secured home on your house and talk to your tax accountant to see if part of that is tax deductible. So if you do have a project that you think is going to cost more than you have in your bank, or that you want to spend, look into a home equity loan. Maybe they can help you finance your project.
I like that idea. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on Real Estate and Money. We're out of time, way out of time. Thank you, Daniel, for all your help. And stay tuned for Metro Baseball coming up. Look at Rainier Avenue Radio.world for the schedule.
Wonderful.
See you next Tuesday at 2:30.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Real Estate and Money with your hosts, Violeta Strash and Tina Lombard. For more information, call 206-717-4490. That's 206-717-4490. Go to the Rainier Avenue Radio.world website to find the Real Estate and Money schedule, or tune into our live show every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3. We will help you find your